There are battles you never want to fight, but somehow you get pulled into them, and the cost is rarely about being right or wrong. It's your peace. Have you ever ended up in an argument because of one careless comment, one bad look, or one thoughtless remark? In that moment, you feel the need to respond, to reply, to prove something. But the biggest conflict in life isn't fighting other people. It's letting yourself get dragged into battles you never needed. The hardest part is not winning. It's being clear enough to see you never had to enter the fight at all. Feeling triggered, feeling your ego tested. Almost everyone knows that feeling. And that familiar feeling is where this story begins. The story starts with a boy named Ethan. He lived with his family in a small village. They didn't have much, but Ethan felt responsible for protecting the people he loved. He helped his parents. He looked after his younger sister, and he believed silence was the same as weakness. If someone spoke badly about his family, Ethan reacted right away. He thought it was the only way to keep his dignity, to protect his self-respect. But the more he reacted, the more tired he felt. The more he tried to prove himself, the more drained he became. Ethan didn't yet see that some battles don't make you stronger. They just wear you down over time. If you've ever reacted like Ethan, leave a comment with the number 1, just to remind yourself you've been there too. Ethan grew up believing that reacting was the only way to hold on to his worth. Every time he heard disrespect, that familiar feeling came back. His heart beat faster. His shoulders tightened. He felt that if he stayed quiet, people would think his family was weak. So he walked into arguments without even thinking. Sometimes with neighbors, sometimes with strangers just passing through the village. No one ever really won. Only a quiet exhaustion kept building. Ethan didn't notice that the people who provoked him usually left right after. They spoke. Then they forgot. But Ethan carried the feeling all day long. After a while, Ethan noticed something. When arguments ended, others returned to their lives quickly. No one talked about it again. But for him, it was different. The tension stayed in his chest. The words replayed in his head again and again. Ethan realized something painful. He was the only one still holding on to the battle. Not because he wanted to, but because he didn't know how to let go. Ethan began noticing how quickly other people moved on. After an argument, they laughed again. They spoke about ordinary things. They returned to their routines as if nothing had happened. But inside him, everything stayed loud. The tension didn't fade. It settled. He replayed the same moments again and again. What he should have said. What he shouldn't have said. How he looked. How others might have judged him. Ethan realized that while others were living their lives, he was still fighting conversations that were already over. The battle followed him home. It followed him into the night. And slowly, a heavy truth appeared. The people who provoked him didn't carry the weight. He did. Not because they forced him to, but because he kept holding on. That realization didn't bring relief. It brought sadness. Because it meant the exhaustion wasn't coming from outside. It was coming from the way he responded to everything around him. For the first time, he questioned his old reflex. After that, Ethan began noticing the smallest moments. A sharp look, a casual comment. Before, that was enough to make him react. Now, he slowed down. Just a little. Not because he was stronger, but because he was tired. Tired of always being on guard. tired of living like everything was a threat. Sometimes he still wanted to speak, but he started to see something new. When he stayed quiet, the world didn't fall apart. No one attacked his family. Nothing terrible happened. Most moments simply passed. Even so, staying quiet wasn't easy. Silence felt uncomfortable. It felt risky. Ethan worried about how others would see him. He worried they would mistake calm for weakness. He worried that not responding meant accepting disrespect. Sometimes he stayed quiet, then spent hours wondering if he had made the wrong choice. He felt the pull to explain himself, to justify his silence, to make sure people understood his intentions. But little by little, he noticed something else. Most people didn't notice his silence at all. They moved on quickly. They were busy with their own lives. That surprised him. The fear of being judged was often louder than reality itself. And each time Ethan resisted the urge to react, he felt a small sense of space open inside him. It wasn't peace yet, but it was distance, and distance gave him room to breathe. That silence opened new space for him. Places with no arguments, places where no one demanded a reaction. One afternoon, Ethan walked beyond the village. Near the forest, he stopped by the home of an older woman who lived alone. She spoke very little, yet everyone respected her. Ethan didn't know why he stopped there. Maybe he needed quiet. Maybe his thoughts were too heavy. As he sat by the narrow road, the woman spoke first. She didn't ask what happened. She only said she could see a lot of tension in his eyes. For the first time in a long while, Ethan didn't explain. He didn't react. He just listened. The woman looked toward the forest and said something simple. Some things in life don't need to be fought. Some sounds don't need an answer. They fade on their own. She said that when we react in anger, we hand our control to someone else. Then she asked one quiet question. Was Ethan fighting to protect something he loved? Or was he afraid of being looked down on? Ethan didn't answer right away. For the first time, he saw that many of his arguments came from fear, not love. That thought didn't arrive fully formed. It came in pieces. Ethan kept returning to the woman's question, not answering it, just sitting with it. He noticed how often his reactions were tied to fear. Fear of being overlooked, fear of being seen as small, and he wondered what would happen if he didn't act on that fear. There were days when nothing felt different, days when he still reacted too fast, days when he felt frustrated with himself. But there were also moments of clarity, brief moments when he felt grounded, present. Ethan began to understand that change didn't arrive loudly. It arrived quietly, through awareness, through hesitation, through choosing not to move the way he always had. And slowly, without forcing it, something inside him began to soften. After that conversation, Ethan left feeling different, not with clear answers, but with a calm, empty space in his mind. In the days that followed, when someone said something hurtful, Ethan didn't react right away. He let a few seconds pass, just a few. But in that short pause, he felt something new. Choice. He didn't always succeed. But every time he paused, he felt a little lighter, like he was learning to stand firm without fighting back. Over time, small changes appeared. Arguments no longer followed him to the end of the day. Harsh words stopped echoing in his head. When someone tried to provoke him, he noticed something else. They were waiting for a reaction. And when none came, everything settled quickly. Ethan didn't feel stronger in a loud way. He felt calmer. He understood he didn't need to prove his worth in every moment. One early morning, before leaving the forest, the woman gave Ethan an old mirror. She told him that whenever he felt the urge to react, he should look into it first, not to see his face, but to ask himself what he was really fighting for. From that day on, when anger appeared, Ethan paused, and the question returned softly, and many times he chose peace over a familiar fight. As time passed, Ethan no longer needed the mirror. Not because life became easier, but because stopping had become natural. Not every word is worth carrying. Not every argument needs a winner. Some victories are quiet. They come when you walk away, without losing yourself. If you're carrying a battle that's wearing you down, maybe you don't need to win it. Maybe you just need to stop. If this story touched you, share it with someone who might need it. And if you want more stories like this, follow the channel. Your peace is worth protecting.